All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the elect. And this is going to be a video getting back on you wicked ass women out there, man. Because I ain't finished talking about y'all and how y'all are going to get judged, man. It's not a joke. Not like maybe. It's a definitely thing. The judgment of Yahweh is definitely going to go out, man. And you're not going to get an exemption because you're a woman neither. Like how it works normally in this world, where everyone's allowed to be, where only men are allowed to be disrespected, and everybody else are the only ones that are allowed to be disrespectful. If children, so-called teenagers and all that running around that might be 6 foot plus, are disrespectful, it's the size of a grown man, but then they get called out for their madness and their BS. Oh, they're just a kid. They're just a kid. They're just kids. If a woman does something, oh, it's just a female, that's a woman. But then a man can be any size, any stature, and he don't get no mercy. A man can be 5 foot, but a teenager can be 6'5". The 6'5" teenager weighing 15 stone, he'll get mercy because he's just a kid. But the adult male, he won't get no mercy when he might be 5'5", 7 stone, man. That's a joke. And that's not how Yahweh judges it. So that's a wrong and an incorrect judgment, man. You don't get to sin against Yahweh just because you're a woman. You don't get to sin against Yahweh just because you're a child. Right? And you don't get no mercy for nothing just because of what you think you deserve mercy for, man. The only way you're going to get any mercy in this world from Yahweh is if you're of the elect of the nation of Israel. Ezekiel chapter 9 and verse 4, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in mine hearing, go ye after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children, and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Right? That don't sound like mercy to me. Slay utterly both old and young, both maids and little children. When the day of the Lord comes and the judgment of the Heavenly Father comes, it's not going to matter that you're a child. It's not going to matter that you're ancient. Oh, but they're 95 years old. You got to have some mercy. That's not what Yahweh says. People, and what you people are all don't understand, people ain't going to care about how old you are in that time. They're not going to care about how so-called fine you think you are in that time. Because a lot of you are not going to look the way that you think you are anyway now. An old woman is not going to get no more mercy than a young man in his strength in the days to come. In fact, they're probably going to get less mercy because a young man in his strength is not an easy target. So people are going to be looking for easy targets initially until there's not as many easy targets left, right? People, when they're trying to rob and steal for food, are not going to pick a young man or an old man in his strength. They'd rather pick a woman, a child, somebody that's weak to target. And that's why the scriptures say that Yahweh is going to make a man more precious than fine gold. And that's talking about Israelite men. Because all the other nations of men, no matter how strong they are in this world, no matter how much faith they have in fake gods, that's pointless. You can have all the faith you want in something that don't exist. It's pointless. You have to have but having a little bit of faith in something that does exist is better than having the ultimate faith in something that ain't even real. There's a whole bunch of Israelites that have got faith in these fake gods. And that's the reason why Paul said that he prays for Israel, because they have a zeal for God, but not according to knowledge. All these Israelites that believe in these fake gods, they've got more faith in them fake gods than the heathen have got whose gods they are. But the Israelites that have got a little bit of faith in the real God, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, right? They're in a better position than these Israelites that have got ultimate faith in something that ain't even real. Verse 6 again. Slay utterly both old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. So that ain't sound like no games. That don't sound like no games or no joking or no playing around. This is serious business, man. Like Golovkin used to say, it's a serious business. This ain't no game. But for a long time, people have thought it's a game and enjoyed playing a rigged game where they can antagonize, play games, push people's buttons, And then they wonder when somebody spazzes and loses it and has a breaking point, man. All the prisons around this whole earth are because people reach their breaking point. Most of the time when you see these road rages, these crazy crimes that people commit, right? It's not because these people are just crazy lunatics that spazzed out. It's because they reached a breaking point, man. Now, some of the people are exactly that. Some of the people are just crazy loons that deserve to be not let out of nowhere, but really they should just be sent back up to the spirit world. But some of these situations that break out are because people went through many after many after many situations where they never received justice to the point where they decide, you know what, then? I'm just going to take justice into my own hands, and we're not supposed to do that. We've got to have patience as Israelites of the elect, hopeful elect, man, until the time that our justice that we've been searching for is right in front of us. Matthew chapter 24 and verse 12, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, and that's why people are evil towards each other right now. You have to watch how you even talk to people these days, because you might say something the wrong thing to them, and that's why this term crash out has become so popular. That's why this whole crash out things became so popular, because you might say the wrong thing to somebody and like, you know what, I've had enough. You ain't gonna play with me like that. Because the last person that did the same thing that you did, I let them slide and that didn't benefit me. And then the person before that, I let them slide and that didn't benefit me. And the 25 people before that did it and then I let it slide and that didn't benefit me neither. So now on this 27th time, I ain't letting it slide. And then they do what they do and end up in jail. But the damage is already done. And that's what a lot of you people in this world, you don't understand. And as it goes with you women, a lot of you women in this world have been doing a madness, right? Building up a whole tab, and you've been having all this fun in the world, which all the fun you've been having was sinning and being wicked. And that's why the scriptures say that, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, because you've been living a dead life. And you didn't even know you was dead. You thought you was alive having fun, but you're dead. And then by the time you get old, you're an old maid trying to give advice to young women when you ain't in no position that they would want to end up in. But you got the nerves to be chatting in their ears, trying to talk about some advice as if you got the answers. You ain't got the answers yourself. But you're trying to give some young woman advice, but what you don't even know. Talking about how to keep a man and all that. What man have you ever kept? If you're 40 years old, right, and have never had a relationship that's lasted longer than a year, you're a demon. Straight up. Women 40 years old, never been able to keep a man's attention around them longer, solely on them for even a year. You're a dirty demon. You understand me? And I'm not playing, man. I meant that with my soul, bruh. You got some women out here 70 years old, got a body count that matches the age, trying to chat in next young women's ears, trying to give them advice. You don't know nothing. How dare you try and give her advice when you ruined your life? And trying to talk about how to keep a man and what to do with men and this and men that, as if you know. You don't know. You're 70 years old and never had a relationship that lasted even 5 years, but you're trying to chat about some advice. What do you know? And then when you broke up with a guy, you was never, a lot of you men ain't even able to maintain 2 weeks without getting your cheeks clapped again. And that even goes for some of you fat women out there, and you want to talk about some advice. You don't even let the ting thaw out first. Do you know what I mean? You don't even let the last man's residue still dry, still wet inside you, and you with the next geezer, chatting your mouth off, man. Ain't even wash the bed sheets from what you and the last geezer did. Chatting your mouth off. He's sweat still in the damn pillows, and you with the next geezer in the same bedroom, man. Dirty ass. Trying to talk your mouths up, man. Y'all are gonna pay, and all the same things I'm saying about you wicked women out there, it's gonna be the same for Esau too. Because the Israelite man, we've been getting our ass kicked. We're always looked at like we're in the wrong, even when we're in the right. We'll be in the right, and we're being looked at like we're in the wrong in this world. But you women are in the wrong, and you Edomites are in the wrong most of the time, and always getting looked at as though you're in the right. Verse 12 again, and because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that endured to the end, the same shall be saved. So we got to endure this world waxing colder and colder, man. You got people just mocking the all these files and all these Epstein files and that, right? Trying to make files and say add files to all these other people's names. But then what about the real ones though? You're just trying to make jokes. Here it is, it literally came out that celebrities are doing dark wickednesses behind the scenes to try and as a thing to try and make people have a, oh, do you want to be famous? Okay, if you want to be famous, you got to do this. That's what the whole Diddy thing was. That's the reason why people never came out sooner about what he was doing, because they thought they could become famous. If they don't snitch on him, maybe he'll invite me to one of the parties. I can do a madness and I can become famous. That's what we were saying to him. That's selling your soul. That's what we was been saying about you people that are saying, when we're saying you're selling your soul. That's what we was talking about the whole time. But now it's been found out that that's actually true. And that's what people actually are doing. Everyone's trying to make it like, nah, it ain't. No, it is what's been happening. That has been what's happening, man. 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. And a lot of you women are alive, but you're dead. Your heart's beating, your lungs are pumping, right? But you're really dead. You're dead inside. And the only thing that you can do to try and feel alive again is get lusted off by another guy. That lasts for a couple of months, and then you mess that up, and then you do the same thing with another geezer, and then you mess that one up as well, because the root of the problem is you, like it's always been, and you mess that up as well. And if this sounds like it, if this sounds personal, it's because I'm hitting it where it's supposed to be said, man. That's how a lot of these women in this society are. And then they want to walk around and act like they're righteous. They want to be at work, in front of men, in front of women, trying to talk like they're some good person, telling people what to do on jobs and all this, right? But they're a scumbag. They want to be trying to get on social media, talking about where they will and won't go on a date, what they think what they think a real man is. They got all this advice on what they think a real man is. But where's their advice on what they think a woman should do? They got all these things on what a man should just ultimately default settings do for a woman. But they ain't got no default settings on what they think a woman should just naturally do for a man. They got all these things that a man's supposed to do for women. Be chivalrous, protect women if they don't know them and all that, put their life on the line. But what do they think that women should do for men? Just as a standard, they don't think that they should have to do anything. And it don't work that way. We don't get to say that to Yahweh that he should just put us under the blessings without us keeping the laws. Who the hell are we to say that? We wouldn't even dare think like that, man. The Israelite man doesn't even dare think like that about Yahweh. I ain't saying I think we should be under the law, under the blessings right now, when I know I'm not keeping all the laws. I'm saying I hope Yahweh puts it to where I'm under the new covenant, so that I can be in a position where now I'm doing the things that I'm supposed to do to be under the blessings. But what's happening in this world with you women is you want to be blessed by men without doing anything that men say that they want. Some of you women are such demons that you don't even want to cook for men. And I'm not saying that that's in my particular situation, but I'm saying about these are the women that we see in this world. Some of you are such demons, you don't think you should have to do anything for men, but the men are supposed to do because you're a woman, everything under the heaven for you. Who do you think you are? 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 6, but she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. You dead out here, man. Straight up. 1 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 9, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest power. You can't even do that. Some of you women go to the gym. Your heartbeat's on show, fam. Do you know what I mean? Your whole heartbeat is on show. All your lips on show. The top ones and the bottom ones, man. Trying to show all the thing your gal got your chest out, trying to wear push-up bras in the gym, doing the most, thirsty for attention. Not even because you like the men that you want to get attention from, because you're just trying to get an ego boost. That makes you a loser. And you're all doing that. The women that are doing this stuff, they're all doing it while they got a man at home. Because how women work is that they want to try and continuously get a reminder. Oh yeah, the reason why I'm with this guy is because yeah, he's desired by all these other women. He's desired by these other women. That's why. So then they think that that's what men want to see. That the men are going to feel happy knowing that his woman's getting lusted off by other men. No, we don't think that. Unless we're Edomite or acting like one. Men don't want their women being just lusted after all the time when they're not around their woman. And they don't want it when they're with their woman neither. They'd rather their woman dressed in modest apparel when they're outside of the house and only dressed in any kind of other way privately between her and the man. That's what they'd rather. But you women don't understand that because you're demons and you don't think you have to study and learn anything about what men desire and want. And because you haven't been trained up on that, that's why a lot of you women all hell breaks loose. You're not going to be able to find a man. And even if you do stumble upon the men that are gifted and talented and are of the elect, they're not going to want you. They're going to be able to scan your system and realize this woman is a complete demonic spirit on the planet Earth that does not deserve my time of day. Good riddance, get away from me. You're going to be getting told, go away. And if you decide to stick around, it's not going to be a nice thing for you. But how it works right now in this society, me saying that, you're like, well, nah, that's not going to happen. That's never going to happen. Because men are this, and men are done simping for you demons, man. And anyone trying to save y'all and saying, oh, this guy just complaining about women, he hates women. No, I don't hate women. I hate demons. Yeah? That's a cop-out. That's like the cop-out that people say when you bun out alphabet and rainbowing. You're only bunning out alphabet and rainbowing because you're alphabet and a rainbow yourself. That's why you've got such a problem with it. But then okay, if can we apply it to everything on the earth then? When they're complaining about men, are they complaining about men because they wish that they was a man themselves? Sometimes that might be true. But for the most part, is that why they're doing it? No, because they don't know what they're talking about. They don't even know what the hell is going on. Now, I'll agree that the reason why these Edomites complain about us Israelites all the time is because they're envious of us and they wish they was in our position. So since they're not, they've got to go on a long scenic routine to try and make what we are seem like it's off. But if every single Edomite woke up tomorrow with the stature of LeBron James, right, the charisma of Idris Elba or Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and the love of this world as Anthony Joshua's got, and similar appearances him as well, combined with LeBron James' appearance, they'd all feel happy. They wouldn't be like, oh, I've got to wash this dirty skin off. They wouldn't be saying none of that. If they look like Chris Brown when they woke up in the morning, if they could dance like Usher and Marion and all that, they'd be loving it, mate. And if we woke up looking like Edomites, they'd start bunning out what we look like. If they could literally trade places with us tomorrow, every single Edomite and every single Israelite, they'd start bunning out what we look like. But look how ugly you are. With that ugly yellow hair and that blonde hair and that blue eyes, you ugly git. And that red skin, they'd start bunning it out. Yet they looked like that yesterday. You understand? Don't be fooled and tricked by these Edomites into thinking that they're in a better position. They're liars. And all these women that talk badly about men and that, and talk about what men should and shouldn't do, if they was in a man's position, they wouldn't do that stuff for a woman. They wouldn't be wanting to pay for all a woman's bills and all this stuff without getting nothing back if they was in a man's position. But they're trying to say and trying to trick men into doing whatever they want us to do because they want to get a better life out of it, which fair enough, but it's not working anymore. Verse 9 again, in like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broidered hair or gold or pearls or costly array. But how many women out there are shamefaced? A lot of women have got a smug countenance when you look in women's faces in this world, man. They look smug as hell. Got their chin all up to the sky. And then the thing is with you Israelite women that have got your chin up to the sky, right? And some of you other women of the other nations, y'all have your chin up to the sky and you're ugly. Y'all have your chin up to the sky and you're fat. You're proud when you're fat. And then you're fat, right? You're not particularly funny. You ain't got much charisma about you. You're not particularly smart. You're just fat and ugly and you're still proud. You got all this makeup on and still ugly. Got 50 pounds worth of makeup on your face and still look ugly as hell. And still proud and arrogant, man. And then even the women that are attractive, you ain't got the right to be proud as well, neither. Because you didn't make yourself pretty. Yahweh made you be pretty. Being proud because you're pretty or handsome is just as dumb as being boastful because you're tall. You didn't make yourself tall. Yahweh made you tall, man. So who do you think you are? Not with broidered hair, gold, or pearls, or costly array, but that's what you women love to do. A lot of you women are humble when you ain't in them gaily clothes and all that. But then the moment you put that clothes on and put that weave in, then you're arrogant as hell. And judgment's going to be flying out all over the earth for every single one of you people, man. Now, you don't have to believe this, but you're going to live to see it anyway. Verse 10, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works, let the women learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. How many women are managing to do that, man? How many women have managed to not try and teach men and tell men nothing, man? Or how many women think you can try and back men up in this world, and then if you get done up, now everyone's got to cry for you? You know what I mean? That's not how it works, man. And that's not how it's going to be working. Verse 13, for Adam was first formed, then Eve, and Adam was not deceived. Let me say it again. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So you're saved to be a baby makers. Yeah, that's how you get your salvation, for being baby makers. Now, if you want to try and think it's something else, that's on you. If you want to think you're going to get saved from being a prophetess, yeah, go ahead and try it then, man. And you'll be sadly disappointed. Yeah, if you want to think you're going to get saved because the glutes are round, right? Because the thighs are caramel, yeah? Because the hair is silky, curly, wet and wavy and all that. All right, go ahead. Go ahead and try it. If you think it's because you have face on T, body on T, yeah, if you think it's because of that, go ahead. How did Esau say it? Crack on, Basil. If you think it's because of that, go ahead. But when you get disappointed and you look stupid, that's on you, man. That's on you. It's gonna be on you when that time comes, man. You're gonna be out there looking stupid as hell, right? Because judgment's coming for all of us. None of us are gonna be smiling through the day of the Lord's wrath. We're gonna scarcely be saved, and that includes women. Isaiah chapter 13 and verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil. All of you have been evil. Men, women, children, we've all been evil, man. And the wicked for their iniquity, you've all been wicked. And I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease. There ain't nothing more arrogant in this world than Edomites in general, all of them. And women. Those are the most two arrogant groups on this whole earth. So an Edomite woman would be the most arrogant. But you Israelite women are catching up, man. Y'all are getting arrogant too. Edomites and women are some of the most arrogant people on this earth, man. Arrogant. Because the way how this world goes, it favors them and gives them mercy. It gives them the benefit of the doubt. It gives them the assumption of innocence more than it gives the Israelite man. An Israelite man and an Edomite woman or a woman get into an argument, people are going to assume the man's in the wrong unless he's got definitive proof. And even with the proof, sometimes he still ends up catching hell. But in the day of the Lord's wrath, Yahweh's going to clear all that up, man. He's going to make judgment go out for all the times when the righteous judgment was not going out. So when you, as all you Jakes out there that believe in Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, or you may not believe in the Lord and that, or you brothers, elders, apostles and all that, when we start seeing, or when you start seeing judgment going out, don't feel sorry for these people. What are you feeling sorry for them for? Did they feel sorry for you? When you was fighting spirits, having sleep paralysis, catching hell, seeing things in the corner of your room at night, did they feel sorry for you? Or if you would have told them people these things, would they thought you crazy? Did they feel sorry for you when people was calling you a P? Did they feel sorry for you when people was spitting on you, throwing things at you, laughing at you? Did they feel sorry for you when you was getting arrested, when you was getting hemmed up? Did they feel sorry for if you got put in jail? No, they didn't. So don't feel sorry for them when the judgment comes on them, because they never felt sorry for you, man. Yeah? They laughed at your pain. They laughed at your time when you were sorrowful. If they saw you walking in the street and you looked sad, you looked angry, they thought it was funny, and they thought that's what you deserved. So when they get what they deserve, don't feel sorry for them, man. What the hell are you feeling sorry for them for? They never felt sorry for you. So don't feel sorry for them. How are you going to feel sorry for Yahweh giving out the judgment that he's supposed to give? And don't cry for Babylon when it gets destroyed, neither. Yeah? Because they never cried. Babylon never cried for us. Did it? Did Babylon cry for us when it put our ancestors in the Atlantic slave trade? No, it didn't, man. So we ain't going to cry for Babylon. We're going to laugh. Yeah? We're going to laugh when Babylon gets what's coming to it, man. And we're going to laugh when these people get what's coming to them as well. Because they laughed at us. Didn't they? If these people got you fired, they laughed. When you're at work with these people and they're backstabbing and conniving, trying to get you fired, they're laughing about it. Your neighbors, they're laughing. They're thinking it's funny when they're trying to bother you in your neighborhood. They don't feel sorrowful for it. They're not crying. They're thinking it's funny and it's all games. They could leave you alone, but instead of trying to bother you, they might bother you. They might bother your woman. They might bother your children. Little so-called innocent children, they might bother them. And they don't feel guilty when they do that. They think it's funny. They think that's what you're there for. They're there for my mockery. And they ain't an individual that's got their own hopes and dreams and goals that they've got in life. They're here for me to laugh and mock. And if I want to go over there and disturb their peace, I'm allowed to do that because that's what they're there for. They think that our soul is supposed to go on the ground so that they may walk over, so that they can get a better life. No, it's not, man. You ain't going to feel sorry for them when they get what's coming to them. I ain't going to be crying for them unless it's tears of joy. I'm not going to be crying. I ain't going to cry tears of sorrow for these people, man. And you shouldn't neither. You shouldn't cry for them, man. And Yahweh's going to put the spirit on you to not cry anyway if you're of the elect. He ain't going to make you cry. He's going to set up several, from now till that time, he's going to set up several situations where you'll be like, man, I understand why over there 118 has to happen. Man, I understand why these people are going to get judged. Man, I understand why Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. Man, I understand why there's no such thing as a good Edomite. Man, I understand why women are going to get judged in this world the same way as everyone else. I understand why 7 women are going to be taking hold of one man. And I understand why the Israelite man is going to be so righteously arrogant. You ain't going to be able to... What the man's in London say, man? You can't chat to man. Yeah? That's one of them London terms. You can't chat to man. Yeah? What did Kanye say, Judah, and that? La, 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 wait till I get my money right. Then you can't tell me nothing, right? When Yahweh's put us up in a position where we've made it, y'all ain't going to be able to tell us nothing, man. We're going to be walking around in the regal stance, just stunting on y'all, man. You ain't even going to be bold enough to, like, right now, some of you people might, if we're angry, you might not want to look us in the eye, but you still will do it and have a stupid smile on your face because you're like, well, there's safety measures in precautions in place if this guy spazzes out too much. In the kingdom, you ain't going to have boldness to look us in the eye because you're going to know we've got the full authority to do whatever we want to do. And the world's based on what Yahweh said, which is based on how our spirit works. You ain't going to be... It's easy to be bold and run your mouth now when we're not in a position of power. But what about when the roles change, though? Are you going to still remain bold then? No, you're not. Verse 12, and I'm going to make a man, an Israelite man, more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's what's getting ready to happen, man. That's what's getting ready to happen. Jump down to verse 16. Their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. The houses shall be destroyed and their wives ravished. That's what you people are going to be doing to each other. It already happens now in this world, man. You got these Edomites crashing out, spazzing out on each other, unaliving each other. I posted up some news article, semi-news article, like YouTube thumbnails today. And what some Edomites have been doing with each other, man. They're already spazzing out on each other, and it's hilarious to look at this, man. Because now I understand why they didn't care when we was doing it. Because I don't care seeing them do it. I don't care. If you want to honor, if it's E on E, I don't care. Go ahead, man. Do your thing. Do your thing, man. I don't care. Just like how they didn't care when we did, and we're not going to care when they're under Deuteronomy 28 and 54 in the kingdom. There's going to be Edomites picking some cotton. It's like, oh, you're not meeting your quota, you lazy boy. And they're going to fight, they might fight in the cotton field for a bit, and we might just watch them fight for a bit. And we might just, get back to work, devil. You know what I mean? These are the things that are going to be happening, man. And any of you crybabies out there, oh, right, what are you talking about? What about when you people laugh about the Atlantic slave trade? When people hear about the things that happen in the Atlantic slave trade, they don't feel no guilt. It gives them joy in their heart when they think about it. When you people actually think about the events that took place in the Atlantic slave trade, why does it fill your heart with joy? Because you're wicked. That's why it fills your heart with joy, because you're evil. You people are sick in the head, man. You're sick. A bunch of sickos, man. You people are sick in the head, man. And got the nerve to try and talk about us and make it like we're the problem of the earth. No, you are. You're the problem of the earth, man. Trying to make it like we're the wrong ones. No, you are, man. You're the people that are wicked. And that's why we're not gonna be ashamed nor confounded, because we're a world without end. But you're gonna be ashamed and confounded, though. Oh, you don't believe me? Well, I'm gonna read it. Because by you people in this world's own admittance, you're not Israel. You can try and say that we ain't Israel all you want, but we believe we're Israel at least. But if we was to ask you people if you believe you're Israel, you don't. So by your own admission yourself, you're not an Israelite. Whether we believe that you want or not, you don't even believe that you want. So why you got a problem that we? That's the biggest question, one of the big questions out here. Why is it that you people are so desperately angry that we don't? We're saying that things are only for Israel, right? But you could just say that you believe that you're Israel as well, and claim that you think you're going to get these things in the future too. You'd still be lying. But you don't even claim that you're Israel. You want to get the things that's destined for Israel while claiming that you're a Gentile. When you could have just said, I believe I'm Israel as well, and tried to make out like you're going to get them things that way. You're still not going to get them anyway. But you could have at least tried that, but you don't even try that because you're stupid. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17, but Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. And when you people get what's coming to you, I ain't going to cry. Right? I ain't going to cry for none of you people, man. Because you don't cry for us. This world don't cry for our pain. This world adds affliction onto it, man. When we're going through our times of punishment and our judgments and that, right? When we was buried in graves, did any of these people when we was dead, our dead bodies were laying in the street of the place that was spiritual called Babylon, Sodom and Egypt, did they put us in graves? Or did they leave our dead bodies, our bust up bones, just on the side of the street, man? They didn't put in no grave and give us an identity. They didn't put us in a grave and be like, here lies the 12 tribes of Israel, Judah, the African Americans, Reuben, you know what I mean? Benjamin, the West Indies, Gad, Native Americans, Reuben, Seminole Indians. They didn't even start breaking it down like that, did they? Simeon, Dominicans, they never did that. They never said, here lies the 12 tribes. And let's give the breakdown. Here's the chart. So we got Judah, African American. They never did that. It was like, these are just dead bones, man, that look a bit black. Oh, actually, they're not black bones. They're African bones. Or actually, they're not African American. They're not African bones. They're African American bones. All lies. But they never put us in a grave and gave us our true identity. And that's the least you can do when someone's dead. That's what they tried to make us a Jane and John Doe, man. And that's something that in the police world they try and always not do. They try and always give an identity to the dead at least. That's the honorable thing to do. But they didn't want to do that with us though, when we was in our dead state. Oh, this is a Jane Doe. This is a John Doe. Who cares? Leave the case file open. Yeah, we'll try. Maybe we'll get to it in the future. Probably not though. Who cares? That's how y'all did us, man. Isaiah chapter 45 and verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in Yahweh with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end. Right, and I'm gonna end this lesson there because there's another topic of annoyance that I want to get into as well, man. Right, I want to get into another topic of annoyance that bothers my spirit concerning you Israelites out there, man. Right, and I'm gonna do that video. Lord, we'll have to do this a couple of maybe a little bit later or something, man. But yeah, I'm gonna end the video there, man. You ain't gonna get no mercy in regards to judgment just because you're a woman. That's not what Yahweh's getting ready to do. And maybe I'll name this video that. Right, Shalom to the elect, Shalom.